Okay, in this segment I want to talk about logistics of the course. So how we've organized this course is as a guided tour of important trends along with a deep dive into specific topics. And then there's a set of hands-on assignments that are intended to deliver specific skills and experiences, and that's perhaps the most important part. Okay, and so overall the course is not, the challenge here was to design a course that would be broad enough to cover the topics that we want and also inclusive enough that we didn't sort of have to dial it in for a very specific cohort. But the challenge then is that it's going to be very difficult for some people, and others may find it, some aspects of it certainly routine. I'd be surprised if anybody finds the whole thing routine. If so, then I'd be surprised that you took this course. Okay, so the prerequisites here are pretty light because we are trying to cast such a wide net, but they're really important. So some prior programming experience in some language is going to be really critical. Then, we're going to use terminology from basic college statistics or advanced high school statistics. So when I talk about linear regression, you should know what that means. You should also be able to sort of look at some visualization of data and be able to understand what it's telling you. Okay, and then perhaps the toughest one, if that's statistics, perhaps the toughest one is to have some exposure to databases and database concepts. And if you're just starting out in college, that's not always an easy proficiency to have gained or experience to have gained. But it's not we're going to couch a lot of the discussion in terms of databases and in the relationships to databases, and so some idea of what that means, what they are, is going to be helpful. Okay. So to that end, one assignment will involve writing SQL, and if you've never written SQL before but you understand databases a little bit, you will probably be able to power through the assignment. If you're an expert in SQL, there's some parts of it that might still be interesting to you. Then two assignments will involve writing Python. One optional assignment will involve sort of processing big data using Amazon Web Services. And here, one of the reasons it's optional is that because of the varying skill sets, but another reason is that you'll have to pay out of pocket for the cloud resources. And the reason for that is there's 60,000 students who signed up for the course, and we can't sort of pay for all of them. The good news is it will cost sort of less than $10 or so. Okay, and it's optional, so if you don't feel comfortable with that, you don't have to do it, and you'll still get full credit for the course. All right. Then another assignment will involve competing in a Kaggle.com project, participating in a Kaggle.com competition using whatever you want. And so this may or may not involve any programming. A lot of valid assignment, you can certainly compete by using Excel and other kinds of GUI tools. Okay. This last bullet probably isn't true, so let's just ignore that actually. Okay, so the learning objectives here is I really want people to come out of this course being able to talk intelligently about the landscape of data science concepts, tools, algorithms, and technologies. And this will be sort of a springboard for you to dive deeper into particular areas. So for example, machine learning. This is not a machine learning course, but you can dive deeper into machine learning by taking this course. This is not a database course, but you can dive deeper by taking a database course, and so on. Okay. Then I also want to deliver some hands-on experience manipulating data in order to level set people that don't have any programming experience and provide some specific experiences for those of you who do have programming experiences. For example, the first Python assignment will involve computing some sentiment analysis using Twitter data. And so if you already know Python, the learning Python won't be much of a contribution to that assignment, but perhaps it's the first time you've been able to work with the live Twitter stream. Okay. And so the end result of this is we hope that you'll be sort of an advanced beginner in a variety of data science topics. And as I said, the tough part here is sort of how to do something more than just superficial access, given that data science encompasses such a broad area as we've discussed. And so we think we put together a pretty good program, but you'll have to be the judge of that. Okay. All right. So the risk of belaboring this, the philosophy here has been that the skills needed by the data scientist span a variety of different areas: statistics, programming, databases, distributed systems, visualization. But the traditional organization of these topics is sort of vertical and is not ideal for becoming sort of introductory in data science, right? So in order to get introductory level knowledge in all these areas, what you end up having to do is take an introductory course in 7 different areas or something. So a lot of different courses. Okay. And so our goal is to try to expose and simplify the links between these different areas, okay, as opposed to sort of narrowing our attention on what makes them unique, okay. Fine. All right, so, after taking this course, you will not be an expert in statistics. You will not be an expert in machine learning, certainly. You will not emerge an expert in databases or even NoSQL, nor will you sort of have programming proficiency in all these language. However, you will use all these tools, you will understand the basic concepts of all these tools, and you will have applied many of these tools. Okay. The assignments will, we'll have online short quizzes during the lectures, of which you've already seen some, these finger exercise quizzes. There will be a set of the full-length offline assignments, as I mentioned, and some of the assignments will be graded by, some of the programming assignments will be graded automatically. Some of the assignments that don't lend themselves to auto-grading will be assessed using the peer assessment tools. So an example of that is you're going to write up a description of your Kaggle solution in addition to submitting your score for the Kaggle competition, and other students are going to sort of grade whether it's comprehensible or not. Okay. So here's my background in one slide. So I have a bachelor's degree in industrial and systems engineering from Georgia Tech, but all the problems in industrial engineering tended to be about optimization and automation, which seemed to require software. So I sort of got more interested in computer science. So I spent a couple of years consulting with some big firms. Schlumberger does oil field services, and Siebel does customer relationship management software, and you're probably familiar with Microsoft and Verizon, and Deloitte is a management consulting firm. And then I went back to grad school and got a PhD in computer science from working with oceanographers on query systems for large-scale oceanographic models. And then I spent a couple of years working directly with oceanographers as kind of a data architect, and before coming to University of Washington, where now I lead a group in scalable data analytics for the University of Washington eScience Institute, and also have an affiliate assistant professor position in computer science and engineering. And so there's a bit of a mix of, very practical kind of applied work as well as my research agenda. And so I think that this data science trend that's occurring sort of strikes close to home with me. I think it's a great time for it.